Good morning, everybody. Welcome along to Forever United TV this Friday, the 7th of March, ahead of a massive game against Arsenal this weekend. We are still talking about what happened last night, Ruben Amorim's issue in getting through to these Manchester United players. It does look like an impossible task. I've got a couple of clips I want to go into from the press conference after the game last night, where Ruben clearly is trying to defend what he is doing, but we can all see what he really wants to say. I'm going to give my comments on what Ruben should have said, but obviously we know he's not going to say. Interesting. I want to get your thoughts on what he said there and the issue that we've got with some of these players right now. They just don't get it. It's as simple as that. They just don't understand what he wants them to do. And it does look like there is more and more unrest going in within this team with Ruben, the relationship. We've seen the reaction from Garnacho last night. We've seen the fallout with Rasmus Højlund and Dalot. And yeah, that can happen on the pitch. But when it gets to a point where we're calling out a striker for going 19 games without a goal, and there's a simple task to do and a simple ball to play and it's not being played, the unrest is going to carry on. You can see that there's no coordination or camaraderie between these players at all on the pitch right now. And it is selfish football. That's what it is right now with these Manchester United players, and Ruben has got a massive issue. How does he get into these players? We have quite a bit of summer transfer news to update you on as well. When I talk about that, and some interesting stories flying around regarding Manchester United possibles this summer, and how quickly Manchester United are going to move in the transfer window. When I talk about that, let's get into the show. Let's get your comments. Let's get started, and let's get into everything that's happened from last night, because obviously, we were watching it. You've seen the live shows. You've seen my match reaction from last night. You've seen everything that's been said from everybody else, all of the pundits, TV, radio. I think we're all just a little bit just meh. Like, where do we go from here? I don't think anyone is really going away from that game massively disappointed or overly optimistic. I think what we're at is it's a draw in the first leg of a tie, and all the pressure is going to mount next week. Next Thursday is absolutely huge for Manchester United. So let's see what happens in the game next Thursday, I think, before we can go on to Europa League talk again. I think all focus now starts to look at this weekend. But obviously, off the pitch stuff is going to take preference over on the pitch stuff again. But should it? Manchester United right now and these players, they're getting away with this scot-free. They really are. And it's starting to turn into a bit of a circus and a farce again right now. How these players just feel like they can be. I mean, first of all, I'll play the clips that I've picked out regarding Ruben Amorim. This first one is on what he was thinking regarding Garnacho and why he brought him off early. The question was asked in his post-match press conference, and this is what Ruben had to say.
Hey Ruben, Garnacho was a key part for you to dominate the game in the second half. Why did you change him after the goal?
I felt he was tired. And you see it because we did a lot of transitions in the second half, because sometimes he was late to defend, and then he's hard. Sometimes he's in the good position for transition, but I felt that he was tired to recover and to do the same things. So I look at the game as a whole, not just in transitions.
Ruben there clearly saying it was simply because he was tired. He wasn't getting back quick enough in defence. I think the biggest thing from that was, like, Garnacho, start taking your chances. And that's all that needed to be said. He just isn't taking his chances. He's not going to say it, obviously. I'm not stupid. He's not going to dig out his player. I feel like he's running out of players that he can actually rely on, though. That's the problem. He's got players he can rely on and players that want to work hard, like he said, and he's not going to go in on them types of players, and he's not going to be that hard hand like he has been with other players, because they're making the effort. But at the end of the day, it comes down to them players not being good enough and not taking chances. But when you get substituted off because you are looking tired and you are not doing your job and you feel like you should be on the pitch, this is the problem I'm discussing. Well, you've got Rasmus Højlund there, who hasn't done anything in 18 games near enough in terms of real goal contribution, assist and whatnot like that. And you've got Garnacho thinking that he should be on the pitch more. Garnacho probably thinks that he's playing better than Rasmus Højlund last night, and he feels like he should still be on the pitch. We all know that Garnacho is just as inconsistent as any other forward in this team right now. And this is the problem you've got. And when we talk about, yes, the unrest on the pitch is just what happens in football, and it's good. The players want to succeed. The players want to be successful. it is having an effect. It really is, because the actions and what they are doing are not of a team that's cohesive. They're not of a team that's together. I feel like Garnacho made the right decision with the Xerxes square ball to get the goal, but everything else he did last night, and that was because he was held up by 3 players. There was nowhere else to go, and he did play the right ball. Did he even look up? I'm watching that back, and I think he just squares the ball across blind. I may be doing him a misservice there, but it just looks like he hits the ball across and Xerxes comes out of nowhere. I don't think that run, that ball necessarily might not have even been for Joshua Xerxes. And like I said, it might have been a misservice, but he made the right call. I said he made the right call last night. He squared it into a dangerous area, and that's what we've asked these forwards to do. He put it into the area and bang, we go 1-0 up, and we should have won the game from there, as we know, but we didn't. And then I feel it comes down to Manchester United players looking at everyone else on that pitch and saying, I'm better than him. I'm doing more than him. Why am I coming off? Why am I the scapegoat? Why am I the one that's being overly criticised again? Well, to be honest, when you come in at Manchester United and you make the bang that you've made, you are going to get critique. You are built up to a certain level. I don't think Garnacho is handling his sort of role at Manchester United well at the moment. I don't think he has got... I don't think he's got the capabilities mentally to handle it. He's still young, and I think the signs are there with him. The storming off the pitch, Ruben dealt with that. He put him on the bench because I don't believe he was injured. Obviously, we've had Bruno Fernandes having a word with us about him and not accepting how the fans are treating him at the moment. Driving off from that fan outside of Carrington the other day that the picture's gone around in social wise. Then you've got that sad sack sulking face, him sat on the bench last night nodding his head. There's multiple problems with Garnacho at the moment, and it is all brought on by himself. He's just dealing with a situation where he is not top dog anymore. Ten Hag was giving everything to these players, and it worked better for Garnacho. It worked better for Rashford under Ten Hag. Ruben Amorim, you could say, has been more of a problem for these players, and this is why we're getting bad results. So Ten Hag might have got it right. He might have got it spot on with the likes of Garnacho and Marcus Rashford. But was it to the detriment of the team? Was it because he wanted to keep them players happy because they would do something for him in a game, like an overhead kick, like a goal that goes into the top corner? All of this stuff that worked for Garnacho, Rashford and other players last season has gone right now, and they don't want to accept it. And if you're not going to accept that and understand that you're at a big club and things like this happen, I think if Garnacho goes, the reality will hit him instantly in the face. This is how football is. All they know is just what happens at United. That little red bubble that I talk about all the time, these players coming through, and this is the problem with the academy. And this leads into what Ruben did last night as well. And I think he has cottoned on to this. I think Ruben knows what's happening. He didn't bring 5 more academy players for his bench because it would just make them feel like it's job done. They're in the first team squad. It's far from it. I think Ruben has seen what's happened with the likes of Garnacho, with Kobe Mainoo coming through the ranks and where we're at right now. Got a little story on Garnacho as well that's being reported as well, which is interesting. I'll come to that in a moment in the show as well and get your thoughts on that. But right now, Garnacho, I feel he just needs to go back, take a look at himself, regroup, come back stronger and give absolutely everything from now until the end of the season. Get fitter, prepare better, do whatever you've got to do, because if the manager's picking up on you not being fit enough or not having enough energy to get through the rest of this game, then that really there is the big issue. Because let's be honest, a lot of them other players on that pitch were playing 120 minutes the other night, and you were subbed on against Fulham, and you was the one that was lagging in a game against Real Sociedad, having not played as many minutes. If he thinks that you're tired, look at what the coach is saying, because watching from the sideline is different to what's going on in your head. And I don't think these players believe in Ruben Amorim. I think they have been put out of place by him because he is doing things right and the way it should be done at a football club, and they don't like it. And I think more dummies are being spat out and toys are being thrown out of the pram. I think it's too late. I do think it's too late. I don't think Ruben is going to be able to turn this current crop of players round to significantly improve them enough to get a result at the end of this season. And what a result is obviously determined by your own opinions and what you think is a success from this point going forward. But Manchester United right now really just need to win the Europa League. Can they show more in these Premier League games to get back into this side and feature in what is Manchester United's be-all and end-all now in that Europa League? And I don't think these players have got it in them to actually do it. I really don't think that they have got it in them. I mean, Ruben, just on the other incident with Dalot as well, this was asked by Larry Whitwell yesterday.
Hi, Ruben. One of those chances, I think, was Diogo in the first half not passing to Rasmus, who was very upset about that. What do you make of that situation? Why would a right back in that area not pass to a striker, do you think?
I think it's hard to say, but I'm just imagine that Diogo doesn't know for sure that Rasmus has the advantage, and he felt that he has a lot of time to think the play. One thing that I'm sure they are really anxious to score goals and to win games. So
I don't need to say any more on Dalot. I said it all last night. If there was someone else in the Manchester United side to bring in for Diogo Dalot, then United would be okay. This is the normal protocol with football at the professional level. If you're underperforming, a player comes in off the bench. That player who's underperforming goes on the bench. You bring somebody else on. United had 4 outfield players when we could possibly have 12 on the bench last night. We are injury ravaged with a poor squad and not enough depth in our squad. And Dalot will keep on playing for Ruben Amorim because he is professional and he gets on with it. You don't see Dalot coming out and bitching and moaning when he comes off the pitch. And I'll give credit to Dalot for that and his professionalism, but that's not what's being brought into question here. You've got Dalot underperforming, Højlund underperforming, arguing with each other on the pitch, bringing up my point that I've just said about Garnacho, how these players are looking at each other right now and they're trying to, I think, outdo their next teammate. I think they're all thinking for themselves, and I said it last night, and I said it in detail last night, selfless football, selfish football, and I just look at every single one of them players, and I know some of them are alright, some of them are doing well. I think Xerxes is adapting very well. I think he is actually a breath of fresh air right now in terms of attitude and play, because I think he is looking for that right pass. I think he is looking for the right ball. But I don't understand why Dalot will pass it to Bruno in the middle of a complete melee and a really difficult ball that he plays well. And he did it against Fulham as well the other day. Why is he not playing the simple ball to Rasmus Højlund? I just feel like there's more to it. There's unrest there. There has to be. Scholes said it last night. That's criminal how he's not played that ball in. I've seen so many freeze frame shots of that moment in that game that Ruben's talking about there in the press conference. Every journalist picked up on it. That's why Larry Whitwell from The Athletic asked that question, and he could see them arguing with each other. The cameras have picked that up as well. It's ludicrous. I don't get what's going through Dalot's head at the moment. He is poor in the tackle. He's not very strong. He isn't good defensively. His decision making is shocking, and he'll do 1 or 2 good things in a game, and then that's it. He needs to be dropped out of this side, but we cannot because we've got no players there. And again, it goes back into the situation that I've said at the top of the show. It's too late. Ruben can't change anything now. There is no one in that squad. We haven't brought anyone in January. There is no one in the academy to come through. He isn't going to play the academy players because he's setting this rule right now where he's not rushing them through unless it's pure desperation and we need players in, which is crazy on its own with our injury list at the moment, I know. But Dalot is going to keep on playing. He's going to play every minute of every game from now until the end of the season. How the hell did Manchester United get into this situation? How the hell are we where we are right now with not being able to take off our worst performing players on the pitch because there's nobody else available? What the hell? I mean, seriously, it has been a shocker of a season for Dalot. It's been horrendous in main parts for Garnacho, especially since Amorim came in. I don't think Dalot's improved at all under Ruben Amorim. I really don't. And that you could bring up on Amorim and say that that's something that he's got to deal with and sort out. I don't know whichever way you want to do it. I think the argument is there for both cases. Against Dalot and for Dalot in the case of Ruben not getting more out of him or understanding or adapting to his game or sort of trying to change things up to what is going on the pitch. Ruben has his rule and we know what that rule is, and we know that Ruben isn't going to change the way he goes. And that's why I've said that's it. These players are just not getting it. He isn't getting through to them. There were moments in that game where we're completely controlling it. But there is definitely a time that Ruben is training these players on the training ground and he's trying to get into their mental, into the mental side of things, into their mentality. But every time Manchester United go behind, we fall apart. He alluded to it in his press conference as well. He said, when we lose a goal, the tiredness creeps in instantly. Everything seems harder. And he's just talking in general about that happens in football all the time. I kind of get what he's saying there as well, but it isn't for every player. And that's the difference. Every player at Manchester United doesn't collapse and start suffering with tiredness and fatigue and everything when United are losing, when the chips are down. So what's wrong with the other players? I tell you what's wrong with the other players. The other players are just not good enough to play for Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. And that's when the summer comes in and when Manchester United need to make massive, drastic changes and... Well, you've seen it. I've seen it. I mean, honestly, whichever way you want to look at it, it is a case of Manchester United with this squad right now are lost. Ruben Amorim has got nowhere to go. He's backed into a corner, and I don't think things are going to change any time soon. I'm going to get into the comment section now just to get your thoughts on all of that and everything that is going on. Good to see so many of you in the room. Please give the video a like, though. A lot of you are not liking the video. Why? Come on. We're not out of the competition yet. Feel a little bit upbeat, people. Get them likes up, everybody. Come on. I'm going to cheer everyone up this morning. Although that story didn't really set off in the right way. But let's be brutally honest. Get into the chat and tell me how you're feeling. And let me know... let me know what you feel about Garnacho, about Dalot as well. The situation with Ruben. Is he covering up for players that are just not going to give him anything? Is it a thankless task for Ruben Amorim right now? And I just don't know which way he goes with it. I don't know how he changes it. I don't know how he adapts to it because he's not willing to. I think it's pointless me saying how is he going to adapt because he's not going to. He said he's not going to. So unless them players really want to knuckle down and get it going for him, then nothing's going to change. And what we've seen so far with these players is, like I've said, toys out the pram, dummies spat out. It's not going to change, is it? We're going to have games like that where we dominate, well, not so much dominate, but we're in complete control of a game for, 70 minutes was it? And then it just falls apart completely. It's scary how it happens to United all of the time because when that goal went in last night, the penalty, we didn't do anything. We completely fell apart and Manchester United didn't get anywhere near the Sociedad goal. That is an alarm ringing right now for me, I feel. Antiel, the member, has just renewed his membership. Thank you, buddy. He says they are all too scared to be the one who makes a mistake. No faith in their ability and no faith in each other. It's a psychological problem, Adam. You got a good point in that there, to be honest, mate. Amorim won't walk before a window and would give him some of what he wants. He knows it's a long-term project. Says great. Rudresh, it's so frustrating that other players can't get in good positions, and one player, Garnacho, who is getting in, seems sees headlines, shots, and absolutely effing it up. David says, I don't mind if a player is disappointed coming off, as it shows they care. However, Garnacho is more of a childish, stroppy disappointment, thinking, how am I being substituted? This I don't like. This is the problem. It's his body language and attitude that everybody's picking up on now. It's the fact that he is looking like what David just said there in the comment section. It's all about him and why he's not being played right now. Why am I coming off? That's how it looks. That's how it looks. Walking straight down the tunnel like he can just do that. Go to the bench and ask for permission first. I don't know. You can make as much of that if you want. But he's got form for it. Walking off, not celebrating when you scored an absolutely fantastic goal against Leicester because you think the fans don't care about you. Honestly, he is causing his own problems right now, Garnacho. And if he's not willing to work hard, if he isn't going to work and put that effort in, then he is gone from Manchester United. And I've said this, and I keep on saying it. This summer is going to be massive for Manchester United on this side of things, and it's going to be a huge summer in terms of the exits and what players are leaving United. And I'll keep on banging that drum. Just prepare yourself for some favourites to go. We have a lot of other news to get through as well, and we got a bit of transfer news on that side of it as well. Let's just get a few more comments in before we move on to that side of things. If you want to see how bad Dalot is at the wing-back position, look at the difference in how high up the pitch Dorgu plays compared to him. He's not got the bottle to play high. We miss out carrying a player. He is just struggling. We cannot keep affording to carry players in this system of Ruben Amorim. We are going to fail every single time. That's the problem. We was playing good under Rude Amorim and needs to adapt with different formations. I'm give up on that, to be honest. I don't think he is going to adapt right now. And you know what? I'm just going to stick with it. We're going to have to just pain out this. These players will be better in the long run if they learn now. Why do we have to adapt to them? Because they're not going to change then in the summer either, are they? He's having to do this now. He obviously can't get players to change. Will Amorim be able to get the players in the close season? If he doesn't, then I'm afraid Amorim is done for. I agree with that one, Andrew. I really do think that it is going to be the end of Ruben Amorim if he doesn't get anybody in the summer. If United don't make moves, that is. There are reports this morning, and here is one interesting one for you. This is a very, very interesting story that is coming out today, that Manchester United are looking at Jean-Philippe Mateta from Crystal Palace. Obviously in the headlines for all of the wrong reasons, in terms of having that horrific injury against Millwall in the FA Cup where he had 25 stitches in the side of his head, but has had a very, very good season this season. 12 goals, 2 assists, actually pulling up trees. His contract runs until 2027, so he's into the last... No, sorry, his contract ends in 2026. So he's into the last year of his contract right now, Jean-Philippe Mateta. And I feel is a target for Manchester United for a reason. I think they're looking at the possibles right now because Manchester United cannot get the players that they want. Victor Osimhen, I think, is a pipe dream. I think Victor Gyökeres is another one that's not going to happen. Of course, if United win the Europa League and go into the Champions League, then there is every single chance that United can make this happen. But right now, United are having to compile lists of players that are the next level down. No disrespect to Mateta. He has had a fantastic season. And let's be honest, absolutely ripped Manchester United a new one in the last time he played us. And I think he's a massive improvement on what Manchester United have got right now. He's a target man. He runs. He works, he holds the ball up, he gets in the box, he's strong, he's great in the air. He's everything that United haven't got right now. So I'm asking the comment section, I'm asking you, do you feel like Mateta is a player that United should be looking at? Now bear this in mind, obviously if United do not get in the Champions League, if we do not succeed in the Europa League, we are going to have to be looking at these types of players. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to just accept it. And Mateta, I feel, is a good player for United. He's 27, not the type of player that Manchester United would normally go for under Ineos on the new structure because of his age. But if he's into the last year of his contract, market value is set approximately 20 million at the moment. Obviously, Crystal Palace would drive a harder bargain, but in June, he's into the last year of his contract, and they cannot afford to then allow him to stay and not go, and then negotiate contracts and go on a free from January. That is the issue that Palace have got right now. Philippe Mateta is definitely, for me, a player that will have seen the headlines this season, would have seen what's going on in the Premier League, the talk about him, the possibilities. I think his agent will be looking at situations like this right now. Can he get to Manchester United? Right now, is there an opportunity for a player like that to move to Manchester United? Under this new structure, maybe his agent is looking at the opportunity. This is why he's not signed a new deal yet. This is why there is nothing in line in terms of talking about possibly him moving anywhere else right now. It's all very quiet on that side of it. And a player playing this well in a Premier League, going into the last year of his contract, is really interesting to see how Manchester United would approach this, or any other big Premier League team would approach this. It's strange that it's quiet. And the Sun are running the report today that Mateta is a target for Manchester United. We know that we need a striker. United are in the market. This just tells everybody, every single Manchester United fan, where this club is actually at right now. That's what's happening. I'm telling you right now, Manchester United will actively be looking at players like Mateta. That's the type of target. Players like Liam Dalot. Players that won't cost more than 50 million quid. Now, you could say that Mateta is probably worth 50 million in the Crystal Palace fans' eyes, and they will go for that. They will try and rinse Manchester United for as much as they possibly can. United will be looking in that area. If we don't make Champions League football, expect that sort of signing. And you can all say it. You can all see the comments coming through. And if you are in the live chat and you're talking about it now, then you are going to be asking the question, surely not, we're Manchester United. Well, surely yes, we are Manchester United, but look where we are. We're scrounging around games right now in the Europa League, hoping to salvage a season because we're 15th in the Premier League, 14th, in the Premier League. This is the new reality you're going to have to get used to. This is what we're dealing with right now. I have had to take this on the chin. Like I said many a times before, I expected United to be challenging for top 4 under Ruben Amorim. It's not happened. I had to take the L and accept that this team is just nowhere near ready or good enough to even compete. Never mind challenge. We are just looking right now to go into games and actually compete and score goals. We cannot score more than 2 goals, 1 goal. We cannot beat a team by more than 2 goals. We haven't put 2 wins together all season. Look at the teams in this league that are doing just that. Look at the Evertons. Look at the Brightons, the Brentfords, the Bournemouth, the Spurs, the Crystal Palaces of this world. All had better runs and better form than Manchester United this season. We're in amongst it. Get used to the fact that this is where United are at right now, is what I'm saying. That harsh reality is there. Mateta is an upgrade, whether you like it or not. It's that simple right now, and United fans don't want to accept it. I know we don't want to accept it, but the harsh reality tells you that this is the way that this football club is going forward. Unless, like I said before, these players, which they don't show any sign of doing, up their game and start listening to Ruben Amorim. They're not going to. They've already given up. You can see it in their performances. They're not taking to him. 25 games in and they don't want to change the way that they're playing under this manager. Tells you everything. This is why this summer is huge. And when players like Garnacho leave, and players like Kobe Mainoo probably leave in the summer, Rashford, Rasmus, players like this all over, Dalot, these players that we have been looking at as first team players for the last 2 or 3 seasons, leave Manchester United and other players come in and we start playing better because these players want to listen to the coach and want to listen to the manager and understand what he wants to do. Then you will see how far Manchester United have fallen and the acceptance of where we're actually at will start to sink in more. Mateta, would I take him? He isn't my top target. He definitely isn't. But is he better than what we've got right now? 100% and some. He is better than what Manchester United have got right now. He is an absolutely brilliant striker for what Manchester United need in that system. He's a runner, he's strong, he's great in the air, he holds the ball up, he does everything that's necessary for a Ruben Amorim system. Yes, he's not the top target. Yes, he's not the Osimhen or the Victor Gyökeres. But he is a reality for Manchester United, and that is hard to take. That really is hard to take for most United fans, and I get it. I really do. But honestly, do you see Manchester United moving forward with what we've got right now? It's just hard. I can see some comments coming in and people saying that this cannot be Manchester United. We cannot be going for Mateta. This is not the right move for Manchester United. You could argue, yeah, and you're probably right. We've fallen a long way. But you have to either ignore falling and then keep on falling, or accept that you've fallen and start rebuilding quickly and start doing what you can from the position that you're in. It's not like we're 6th in the league and we're challenging to push for the top 4 and that type of calibre of player is going to come in next to take us over the line. No, United are shit. United are done. And this team is finished right now under Ruben Amorim. They're not going to get it. So if we're backing Ruben, you're getting players like this. This is the area that Manchester United are in. This is where United are at. do get into the comment section on that for me, everybody. Make sure that you get your comments in on this, on Mateta, when the video finishes up as well. Also, please make sure that you have subscribed to the channel as well, and check out the other content as well that we have done over the last few days, everybody, if you are just tuning in for the first time. I want plenty of comments on Mateta. I want you to let me know what you feel. Can you accept that that is the reality right now, is the big question that I'm asking all Manchester United fans. Let's get into the comment section again on all of that. I will look at some of them comments later up on the video as well. But honestly, right now it is a horrible place to be when you have to accept these sort of things happening. But I think we have to realize where we are. And I keep on saying this right now. I've had to take I've had to swallow that pill, and it's killing me right now. Honestly, I don't want to be talking like this. I want to be a million miles away from this, but I see where we're at, and I'm actually willing to accept that this has fallen right now, and we are broken. We are a broken team. Why the hell would Mateta want to come to United? Super chat from Block. Mike B says, thanks again, mates. You honestly believe a player wants to come and come to the mess that United is? 2 super chats straight off the bat about Mateta, saying, why would he come to United? We're talking about players now not wanting to turn up to United. That's where we're at. They said for ages that Bruno's hard done to. Mentally is bleeding through. Mentality is bleeding through the team. He lost it to getting booked last night. At the time, we upgraded to Dalot in terms of captain, says Cyril Biscuit as well on that one. I would take Donald Duck at the moment, says Andy. Oh God, I know. There are loads of stories flying around right now. I'm just going to run through them all quickly as well. Manchester United are reportedly eyeing Borussia Dortmund's Karim Adeyemi as a potential signing ahead of the summer transfer window, with speculation growing about his possible departure from the German club. Injury-ravaged season for Adeyemi at the moment. He suffered with a thigh injury, I think, for about a month and a half. Hasn't featured that much. I think he's only played 15 games this season. Speculation on him. He's only got 2 years left on his contract as well at the moment. So he is another target that United are also looking at right now. Other news as well. This is a strange one. This was done by Caught Offside as well, which is Kobe Mainoo would only entertain a move to Chelsea if they offer him a higher salary than Cole Palmer, according to reports. What? What is it with Kobe Mainoo and these stories about his wages at the moment? What is going on with that one? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever again. And I don't know if this is all being fabricated again and brought up just as a story-making headline or something like that. But I just don't get it anymore. What is going on? Almost at 200 live likes, everyone. Please give the video a like right now and let that get over 200 live likes. Also, hit that subscribe button. We are on the march to 75k. Let's push on, people. Come on. Players used to fear Fergie because the board backed him. We get disciplinarian managers in, and they don't get support. So the players sabotage the manager. LVG, Mourinho, Eric Ten Hag, Ruben Amorim. Just back this guy. Jeez. Well, we will see in the summer. This is what it's all about. We cannot really judge anyone backing Ruben Amorim from Ineos per se yet, because we haven't really seen anyone brought in under Ruben Amorim. We haven't seen a pre-season. We haven't seen him get the same sort of treatment. So let's see if he does get backed in the summer. I think that will be massive for Manchester United going forward. Think about it. Any proven Premier League player is better than signing gambles from abroad. That way, not settling in, and will take time to get used to the pace of the Prem. And that is why Manchester United are probably looking at some Premier League targets like Jean-Philippe Mateta, like Liam Delap. Players like that are definitely going to be on Manchester United's radar. And I think that it's going to be a case of building up to trying to get back into the top 6 maybe next season and challenging for another cup. And then maybe looking at challenging for the top 4 after that. And then maybe looking at challenging for the title after that. And then maybe winning the title after that. But you're talking 5, 6 years on. Manchester United just need to start getting themselves back in the top half of the table. That's where we're at. And we need to buy players that are willing to graft for this manager to take that next step. And if you can buy Mateta cheap, if you can get him on a decent deal and then use him for 3 years, you're not losing out much money. You could probably sell him on a little bit at the end as well, or he could turn into a squad player for Manchester United. That's why these deals are key for United. We should be looking at the likes of Dalot and Mateta, better players than what we've got. And that's the acceptance that I think every single United fan needs to look into right now. I think it is a harsh reality. I feel like it is a hard one to take. It is. But that's real, and that's what's happening right now. Everybody, please do get your comments in on the video. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking in terms of Mateta, the attitude of Garnacho, the issue with Dalot, the issue with the club overall. Ruben Amorim not being able to get what he wants out of these players. Get into the comments. I'm going to leave you with that there. A few things to do this morning. I will be back later on, live this evening again. We usually do a video on a Friday evening. We're going to be live a little bit earlier later on. There is other content coming in between as well, everyone. So make sure that you're fully tuned in later on. Hit that bell notification as well after subscribing to the channel. And yeah, let's look forward. Premier League proven players. Is that what United should be going for? Maybe not the big names. Maybe we just need players that know this league. Talk to me in the chat, everybody. I'll see you all later. Have a fantastic